What's over YouTube? For today's video, we have a full Arena Trap ability Pokemon team. Now, there's only 3 Pokemon out there that have Arena Trap, and that is Diglett, Dugtrio, and Trapinch. So an absolute banger of a team tonight. I'll be using 2 Diglett, 2 Dugtrio, and 2 Trapinch. Now, Arena Trap prevents any swapping unless the opponent is airborne. That's pretty much it. Now, this team was not a good team. It was a terrible team. And I had to go through many battles. But I got some true quality content and I really hope you enjoy. Let's get a like on the video, people. Drop me a comment. What Pokemon do you reckon should get Arena Trap that doesn't have it already? Give me your thoughts. I want to see them. All right, first battle here. We got an Anticipation Hatterene, only on PIMPNITE channel. And they're going to set up a light screen. So this Diglett is a Fissure set, and this also has, I'll bring up its moves, it learns so many. We got Fissure, Memento, Stealth Rock, and Headbutt. Terra Normal, Arena Trap, Focus Sash as the item. Max Speed and Max Attack, Jolly Nature. So Hatterene is going to go down there. This is also not bad just for spamming Fissure, but a lot of the battles that I had, I just missed them all, you know. This battle, I managed to get quite a few. So Ticketon's going to go down there. Diglett is sweeping through this team. Next Pokemon is the homie Breloom. Now, I thought I may as well go for Fissure again because I was getting pretty lucky and I landed 3 in a row, which is awesome. Now, Breloom did not have a Focus Sash and it is going to faint. So half the team is getting taken out by Diglett. We're getting some amazing salt here. Our next Pokemon, of course, is Dragonite. So now I can't use Fissure. In fact, I really can't do much at all. So I thought, maybe I'll go for Stealth Rock, get that set up, and see what happens. So they're going to go for a little Timmy Terra, and that is going to be a Terra Normal Dragonite. Wow, I've never truly seen one of these in my life. So Dragonite's going to go for Extreme Speed on a Diglett with a normal gem. Little homie was absolutely pissed after losing 3 Pokemon, and got that Focus Sash, you know. Now, I kind of wish I went for Fissure there, but I didn't know they were going to go for Terra, right? So I got the Stealth Rock, which is good because that stops any like Focus Sash or Sturdy and stuff like that. And there's not much I can do here. So my first Diglett is going to faint, but wow, what a performance, right? It took out half the team. So bye-bye Diglett. Now our next Pokemon here, we're going to swap in, is going to be Trapinch. So Trapinch, this set, let me bring it up for you, is a physical set. So we got Fissure, First Impression, Earthquake, and Crunch. Quick Claw is the item. Max Health and Max Attack out of nature. And you know what the ability is? Arena Trap. I know that surprises you. So Dragonite's going to go for an E-Speed. Trapinch lives it, hangs on a like 27 health, and I landed a Fissure and took the Dragonite out. Man, this is absolutely wild. I can't believe this is happening. So I even got to use Fissure on a Pokemon that was, that was levitating, flying, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Cerulege. Now, Cerulege is going to take a fat amount of damage from Stealth Rocks. I've got Fissure, but they're going to go for Bitter Blade. I was hoping for a Quick Claw there, but I got some pretty good luck already, so I didn't really expect that. So Trapinch is going to faint, but we still got 4 more trolls in the back, right? So we got another Diglett, another Trapinch. Light screen's gone, which changes the entire game. And we're going to go into Trapinch number 2 here. I got a Choice Specs Trapinch only on PIMPNITE's channel. So Bitter Blade does half my health here. We got that bulk, we got that max health, we got that max special attack, and we're going to go for Choice Specs. Choice Specs Earth Power takes out the Cerulege. Oh man, I think they got to be a little bit salty after that. So Cerulege is going to faint. The last Pokemon is going to be Garchomp. Now, Garchomp is going to be a problem here. I mean, I don't expect to outspeed to a Trapinch, but then I was like, wait a second. If I go Terra Flying Trapinch, Gust, only on PIMPNITE's channel, and then go for Earth Power, right? So I went for that. I thought they'd just go for Earthquake, you know. That's a pretty good, threat assessment there. So we got them balloons. We're flying in the air. That helium is, it's pumped up, but it's not going anywhere. And they use Breaking Swipe, and that takes me out. So I didn't expect them to use Breaking Swipe at all. So that is going to be the end of my Trapinch. It's okay. I've still got 3 more Pokemon. Now, I've got another Diglett, and I thought, I'll go into Dugtrio. So this Dugtrio is my ancient special one. So we got Choice Scarf, Final Gambit. So I thought Final Gambit could be fun with Arena Trap. And I almost took it out. I was max health and max special attack there with Choice Scarf. But Garchomp had a little bit more health there. Like, Dugtrio doesn't have much health, even with, max health there. So that's my Dugtrio down. Last Pokemon is Diglett. It's got a little jelly bean blue nose. And I was like, what's the most disrespectful thing? So I went for Sucker Punch. It lived. And then it had rough skin. I was like, oh no, this is a bit of a rough matchup. And Diglett is going to go down. Suddenly, all of my team got wiped by Breaking Swipe Garchomp. Not all the other Pokemon, not the Sweat, but like the Breaking Swipe Garchomp. And we got that Dugtrio left. So Dugtrio has got Hone Claws, Stone Mist, Terra Blast, Electric, and I've got Rock Blast as well. Now, I already did Terra Blast, Electric Blast. What would be the most disrespectful thing? I was like, let's go for Rock Blast. So I went for the Rock Blast, and I took out the Garchomp. And that is the fattest of W's for the first battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this first one here. I should just end the video right now. And, it would be only W's. But I took a lot of losses with this team, as you can imagine. I don't know the trainer's name here as well. So if you'd like to translate them, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Next battle here, this team was pure sweat. So we've got a Diancie lead here, and I've got my Diglett. So this is the more attacking one. So this is Focus Sash, Reversal, Earthquake. Earthquake actually does really good damage. I knew they'd set up the Stealth Rock. That's why I led with my Diglett there. So my other Diglett's Focus Sash is going to be gone. Now, I'm going to go for another Earthquake here. I was hoping the first one was a min, and then I got a max damage, but it wasn't the case. So Body Press is going to take Diglett down to 1 HP, which is fine. Now, it's actually that's a life orb too. So in actual fact, it did faint anyway. I just kind of burned my sash up there, but that's okay. Next Pokemon is going to be Deoxy's Attack. It's flying in the sky. Now, I don't know, what do you guys reckon about this? So this is a good question, right? Say, obviously, Deoxys doesn't have Levitate and stuff like that. It's not a flying type. But do you think, like, ground moves should be able to hit Pokemon that are clearly flying like this, like their animation? I don't know. Maybe that could be a harsh... Maybe that's too much of a harsh mechanic to bring into the game, Especially when it's, like, totally random. So that's the end of my Dugtrio, but I know they're never ever going to expect the PIMPNITE Quick Claw special first impression. No way, they weren't outspeeding me that time, guys. All right, Deoxys is down. That's absolutely incredible stuff there. You'll never ever see that again, by the way. Next Pokemon is going to be Manaphy. So I'm assuming they're just going to have like a Tail Glow set, and they went for Skull. Trapinch is going to get washed by that. Not much I can do. My really only way to get around this, I'm looking at my team, I'm thinking either go Terra Electric Dugtrio, which won't take it out, or slide in Diglett for a quick and easy fissure. That was really my only way to get around that. The first fissure I went for landed on Manaphy and took it out. Oh, that was so lucky. That would have swept my team easily with Skull because there's so many weaknesses, right? All right, next Pokemon is going to be Jirachi. Oh, no, it's not Jirachi. I've seen Whiscaranner, but it's the Meloetta. Funny about Jirachi. Anyway, we'll get to that in a sec. So I went for Fissure on Meloetta and a miss, unfortunately. I really was hoping to get that. Now, Meloetta's going to go for a Relic Song. Relic Song, it's easy going to take Diglett out. It's got very good special attack. And Diglett, well, even Dugtrio, they're very, very frail Pokemon. So we've got a transformation here. Meloetta's put on its tutu. It's got that pirouette. And I'm going to bring in Dugtrio now. So this Dugtrio set is a Choice Scarf set. And I was like, should I go for Fissure here or do I go for Final Gambit? I went for a safe Final Gambit. And then I realized it wasn't such a safe Final Gambit because Meloetta's got way more health. So I'm like, uh-oh. We got 2 Pokemon left. This is not looking good. So it's going to be a full-on sweat set. It's got close combat. So sliding into Trapinch here, special Trapinch, but then something, then I had a revelation. I was like, wait, if I go for Terra Flying Gust, this could be the play when they go for close combat. This could be pure content, right? So we're going to go for that Terra Flying Trap. I don't know why I'm going for this again. It's absolute trash. So we're getting that Terra Flying Trapinch here. I don't know why Trapinch actually gets Gust. Here comes a close combat. Trapinch eats it like a snack. And since they did close combat, that dropped the special defense. I was like, all right, come on. This is perfect. It's prime time to take it out. And Gus takes out the Meloetta. That was absolutely, like, this video deserves a like for that. That was pure content. All right, we did a little victory roar there. Next Pokemon, here we go, is Jirachi, right? So this is like, there's a lot of, this is all like, it's like all mythical Pokemon. It's like a mythical Pokemon thing. So Jirachi is going to go for a Cosmic Power. I'm locked into Gust. I mean, what exactly could I do? I thought maybe I could swap it out into Dugtrio, but my other Dugtrio is not going to be able to take a hit anyway. So now Jirachi's going to go for Doom Desire. So Doom Desire is like a time-delayed move like Future Sight, but it's, you know, it's Jirachi's signature move. And I'm not really making a lot of headway here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to swap the Trapinch out. I thought, all right, if I take the Trapinch out, maybe they don't have a lot to hit me with, and I can go for Earth Power and get like a lucky crit or something. So going to Dugtrio, I don't reckon Dugtrio should get affected by Stealth Rock. That's cat. So the Jirachi's got a second Cosmic Power up there, 2 Cosmic Powers. I'm walled. I'm completely walled. So I can't do anything. I was like, I'll just go for Stone Edge crit then. That'll do. I did a solid 2 damage to Jirachi, and Jirachi's got a Baton Pass. I was like, oh no. What's going to get this? So the Cosmic Power ×2 was passed on to a Majania. So this thing already has like a gazillion defense and special defense. So there is no way I'm going to be able to take this out. Even like the fattest crit in the West, right? So Majana's going to get a special attack boost, which it totally needed. All that's left there is the GOAT Trapinch. I took some nasty stealth type damage. And now they're going to go Timmy Terra as well. Like, come on. Like, can you see what team? They were not happy about losing all those Pokemon to Fissure, right? So they've got a Terra Ground Majana, and it's going to go for a Fleur Cannon and take out Trapinch. I mean, that took out Trapinch's entire family tree. Anyway, that was still a pretty funny battle. Little homie went sweaty there to try and beat my super strong team. Let's get on to battle number 2 here. Also, if you do play like VGC and stuff like that, the Regulation J is allowing mythicals as well. Just, sort of a reminder there by that Majana there. So that's going to start the 1st of September, I believe. Anyway, so we've got the 3rd battle here. Another random battle. We got a Skeleturge lead, and I went for Earthquake this time. So we got a Torch Song Skeleturge. I know that's very rare, and I got that Focus Sash. So this is a clean 2-hit KO. Remember in this battle, the opponent can't swap out either. So if they got a bad matchup, they aren't allowed to swap. That's what Arena Trap does, right? So Skeleturge, absolutely nothing they could do there. I was trapping him in. That's really the only point, like, why Dugtrio ever gets a lot of uses, because of its ability, right? I tried to wonder, though, with a Samurott Hisuian just got, rolled out like a lounge room rug there with reversal, by the way. I wonder what happens if Flygon got Arena Trap. That would be a good ability on Flygon, right? Because it's a fast Pokemon. I think Flygon would see a lot more usage as them. For sure, but I don't know. I guess Trapinch, the ability died with Trapinch when it evolved. So they had a Rampardos. I was so surprised because you never see Rampardos used online at all, really. And then Rampardos got absolutely dominated by Diglett, by the fattest reversal crit there. So that is the end of Rampardos. So this Diglett has taken out half their team. It wasn't even with Fissure Cheese. It was like straight up just attacking moves. All right, so in comes Ursaluna. This is also got to like, wow, can we get this sweep? Can we get this Diglett sweep? So we're going to go for the Terra Fighting on the Diglett. We've got the fullest power on reversal. I'm ready to get this Diglett sweep before. I'm trying to remember what I did my last one. I think I did my last Diglett sweep in like Generation 7. So going for a reversal here. The fist is bigger than Diglett's head. And I hit hard, and it just misses the KO. I was so close. Oh, man, I don't know whether that was min damage, but I was so close. Really, really close there. So Ursaluna hangs on by the skin of its teeth, and Diglett is going to faint. But man, it gave me a whopping head start there. So the Flame Orb is now going to burn it. It would have been justice if the Flame Orb, like, fainted it, you know? So bringing in my Trapinch, I was like, all right, well, I've got first impression here. And my first impression is to take out this Ursulina before it uses Facade. So that is the end of Ursulina. That's some good stuff right there. There's 2 more Pokemon left on their team. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Kyra. I was like, oh, this actually isn't good. So I've got Fissure and I've got Earthquake. And I thought, well, I'm definitely not going to live a turn at all. But then they went Hyper Voice and I lived that. So it's like, oh, it's a Throat Spray set, right? I think it cut out the Throat Spray there, but it was a Throat Spray set. I went for Fissure and missed, and then I got a Quick Claw, went for Fissure again, and it landed. I'm like, wow, that was so lucky. So Kyra White is going to take a fat L there, and we've got 1 more Pokemon left. Man, imagine getting just completely beat down by a small Diglett and a Trapinch. And they've got like these ginormous Pokemon too that are the size of like friggin' skyscrapers. So out comes Dialga, here comes the Aura Sphere, and yeah, obviously that's going to be enough to take out little Trapinch there, but a real quality start to the battle here. Our next Pokemon's going to be Special Trap. I'm ready to unleash the beast. I was like, well, I can't go for a Terra Flying this time. Let's go for Earth Power. Breaking Swipe, and it critted me. It's like, damn, that actually did a pretty good amount of damage. I just went for Earth Power there on Dialga's toes, and it almost took it out. I was like, damn. So Aura Sphere, a second Aura Sphere is going to take out my Special Trapinch, but that was a good effort there. Some really impressive damage. So bringing in Dugtrio now. Now, funnily enough, I don't actually have a lot to take this out. I was like, well, I guess I'll go Final Gambit, because my other Dugtrio, what did that have? Stone Edge, Rock Blast. I don't think that was even going to faint it, or it could have missed. So I sacked that off, and we're going to Final Gambit Disrespect the Dialga, and that's the end of the battle. That is the end of the 3rd battle. We've been catching some W's here with this team somehow. It did take a lot of L's, but there were some really good battles. Let's get on to battle number 4 here. Today I've got 7 battles too. First Pokemon is going to be Giratina. So this is a problem, because Giratina is really bulky. So I thought, I have to go for Fissure, right? Turn 1, Fissure takes out the Giratina, which is excellent. So I'm like, well, that's a problem solved here. This is almost like a pseudo one-hit KO moves thing with a little bit of salt thrown in there in Arena Trap. Next Pokemon is going to be Kyogre. So, you know, that they were, I think they were pretty angry. So I went for Fissure and it missed. I was like, all right, well, that's going to be the end of Dugtrio's entire family tree, right? I mean, I've got the remaining family tree members still on my team, but, you know, all the other ones, they're fainted. So Dugtrio's down. Now, we're going to go into Diglett. Now, I wasn't sure if this was Choice Scarf or not. I mean, if it was, I had Sash as a backup. But they had a Quick Claw Kyogre. I was like, oh, no. And then Water Spout, too. Oh, my God. That did, like, 10 million damage to Diglett. That Focus Sash, man, that Focus Sash got hit hard, real hard. And Fissure lands and takes out Kyogre. This is awesome. So, I've taken out Giratina and Kyogre with Fissure. This is disrupting the salt. Now, we've got one more. No, wait, we got 4 more Pokemon. Oh, I thought it was a 3v3. All right, they're going to bring in Grimmsnore. Now, I've got Fissure again. I thought I'll just go for that, and it landed again. I was getting some really good luck with these one-hit KO moves. So, out of nowhere, half the team had already gone right, and it was raining salt too. Now, the next Pokemon to slide on the field is going to be Palkia. Now, Palkia's, well, a big problem as well, but this Diglett just kept landing everything. And there wasn't any extra accuracy modifiers or anything. I was just straight up getting lucky, right? So, yeah, that's the end of the homie space wee. Now, the next Pokemon's going to be Dialga, right? So, they got normal Dialga. So, I was like, well, I'm just going to go Fissure again. But this time it misses. I got some incredible luck there. I wasn't going to, I wasn't expecting that. I guess they were so pissed at this Diglett, they just used Roar. They used Roar of Time on Diglett on 1 health. That was smoking, man. All right, so we're going to go to the next Trapinch. I was like, oh, this is perfect, right? So we're going to go into the special one. I've got Earth Power waiting to go here. So Yelga's going to recharge. I knew I wouldn't take them out, but It was a 3-hit KO, so this Dialga's definitely got a lot of bulk. Then they use Iron Tail. I'm like, oh no, that fainted me, so that's bad. I was hoping for another Roar of Time. So bringing in Trapinch number 2, I need the fattest of Earthquakes, and I gotta live like Iron Tail or something like that, or I need a Quick Claw. So they're gonna use Iron Tail again, and they're sweeping me with a physical Dialga. It's a disaster. So I've got, what, 2 Pokemon left, and they've got a really, really strong Pokemon in the back too. Not that these Pokemon were weak, they were strong too. So I've got Reversal and I've got Earthquake. So like, I need to go first with Earthquake, and I'd like to kill. And I didn't get the kill, which actually changed a lot of things. So Dialga's gonna land 3 Iron Tails in a row there, and it's gonna put me on 1 health. So the last Pokemon is very, very weak to Reversal. It's gonna be super effective to it. So I've got Earthquake. I'm just going to use that and take out the Dialga there, which is fine. So the last Pokemon on their team is going to be a normal type Pokemon, and it's also going to have its busted ability too, which is Terrapaga. So I thought, all right, now I could go for a Reversal, but Terra Shell is going to stop that, right? So I've got to swap out, and I've got to swap my next Pokemon and live that attack, break the Terra Shell, and then go for Reversal. That was my plan, right? So into Dugtrio, however, they're just going to go straight for the Timmy Terra there. So I was like, oh, bugger. I kind of wish I attacked them, but I wasn't to know that they do that. I thought they'd at least use its ability up. Anyway, that's how it is. So this thing just got a fat amount of health, and I'm going to get hit by a Water Pulse. So Water Pulse is absolutely going to take out Dugtrio. No if-buts about that. So all I've got left is the mighty Diglett. Diglett's got that thumping base attack of like 55. So I've got 1 health left. I've got Terra, and I've got Terra fighting too with reversals. Like, all right, this is going to be a test to see if this can live. It does have a lot of health left, which was my biggest worry there. So going for reversal here on the Terrapagas, hoping that I get a critical hit. I really need it. It was pretty close to taking it out. Unfortunately, I just didn't get that initial damage on there. And I wasn't to know that they were going to go for the Terra like immediately. I thought they'd wait till their shell gets used up and then Terra afterwards. But still an incredible battle there. I can't believe the Iron Tail Dialga took out the most Pokemon. I think that was pretty funny too. That Diglett was popping off. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you hit the like button, people. Tell me what Pokemon you think deserves Arena Trap and why. I'd love to hear your reasoning. Or if you're just watching this if you're watching this on the toilet, let me know in the comment section, or any time of your day. Tell me what you're doing right now. I'd love to know what you're doing, and don't say watching my video, all right? All right, so next battle here, we're going to battle against Leaf, and we have a camera up lead, and I'm going to get a nice, juicy little, juicy little KO there. So camera up is down. I'm going to swap Trapinch out because we got a Primate coming in here. So I'm going to go into Diglett and see what it's going to do. So it's going to go for Focus Energy. So it's a critting set, basically. This is also a theme team as well, if you can guess what that is. So I've got Fissure on this set. I'm just going to go for that, and Fissure is going to miss. Now, in this battle, I had a lot of Fissure missions, right? Like I was not getting good luck. It made it tough, right? So we got a Drain Punch critting set, which is bad because even without a crit, Drain Punch was going to destroy my team. And it also had Rage Fist as well. So this is going to be incredibly bad because all of my team is going to get one shot. I mean, maybe not my Trapinch. I was like, I'll try Trapinch to see if I can live one hit. I was like, do I go for Gust? I'm like, oh, surely I don't want to go for Gust again. I don't know why I found myself going for Gust with Trapinch so much. Like, why do I put myself through this for? I should have just done Terra Normal and stuff. Terra Fighting with Reversal. But anyway, here comes the Rage Fist here. I needed Trapinch to unload a massive one. So that's going to crit me. And I went for the Gust, and I thought, all right, well, Gust should do good damage. It was a 2-hit KO. That was pretty good. Unfortunately, now Rage Fist is going to have a power buff to it. And, that was a crit too. So that was enough to take me out. If it wasn't a crit, it might have been, I might have had a chance of living it. But that's the end of Trapinch. So things are not looking good at all In fact, they're looking very, very bad. I'm trapped here, guys. I'm trapped. All right, so bringing in Diglett. I've got Reversal. That's going to be about it. And I've also got Earthquake too. So I thought, well, I should outspeed Primate, but what if I don't? And I didn't. So it's going to go for Rage Fist again. That's going to put Diglett on 1 health there, regardless of the critical hit. And I think that's got like 1, 2. I think it's got 150 base power now. So I was hoping for the KO, and it didn't. So I was like, all right, that's very, very bad. Very bad indeed. So that is Poison Jab, feigning my Diglett. It was disrespect. So I've got 1 Trapinch and I've got 2 Dugtrio left. So I thought, all right, well, I've got Trapinch. I've got First Impression, all right? At least that should be able to feint it. Hopefully, right? So First Impression doesn't feint it. I was like, oh, no. So now Rage Fist is going to have like 69 million damage and Trapinch is going to get cooked. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left, which are both my Dugtrios, and I've also used my Terror up too. So I'm going to need a Christmas miracle here to, to even get back into this game. So I'm going to go for a Disrespect Terror Blast there, coming off Dugtrio's fat special attack of 35, and that is going to be the end of the Primate. So that's good. At least I got rid of that. Now, our next Pokemon is going to be Slaking here. So there's not a move that I've got at all that can one-shot Slaking. The only hope was that, why did I not use Reversal Terror Fighting on that Diglett? That would have been pretty good against this, these Pokemon so far. So this is going to be a Fling Slaking, and it's going to fling a Light Ball. Now, flinging a Light Ball actually paralyzes the opponent, even if they're, a ground type like Dugtrio, which is pretty cool. So it's a good way of getting a paralyze on a ground type. So Slaking is going to be loafing around like a fresh loaf of bread. Man, I could go for some bread, some hot bread straight out the oven, and you slice that loaf in half. I got to be making someone hungry right now. Anyway, so we got a Scratch Slaking, and this is bad news because Dugtrio doesn't have a lot of defense. And I particularly don't really want to lose to a Scratch Slaking. I think I did a choice band Scratch Slaking once before, and I got many KOs with it somehow. So Dugtrio actually got paralyzed there, which sucks. And Slaking's got some pretty good speed too, and I'm already paralyzed anyway, so Dugtrio's got to faint. So all I've got left now is I think I've got the special the special one? Yeah, I've got the special Dugtrio left. I'm like, oh no. I've got a Lock and Load with Fissure. So that's going to miss the Slaking. It's got that Truant. I absolutely have to land at this turn, and I miss. I'm like, oh no. I think I'm going to faint the Scratch. Here comes the Scratch. It's a solid, it's solid right. Because since I've got max health, I was able to the Scratch a lot better. But it missed. It missed again, but it was Truanting. So I'm like, all right, come on, we need to land this Fissure right. My PP was getting low, and when your PP is getting low, you don't want to know. All right, that is the end of Slaking. We've got 3 more Pokemon left here. Now, the only thing I was worried about, right, is if I ran out of PP, I'd struggle, right, and that'd be bad. So in comes the Scissor, only to get hit by a Fissure. Oh, see them bars, guys, see them bars. All right, that is the end of the Fissure there. I mean, the Scissor. They sound pretty close. Now, we got 2 more Pokemon left. We got Tyranitar, so I need to land a Fissure on this Tyranitar. I absolutely have to. So I've got three Fissures left here. So now we've got a Terra. I was like, I really hope this isn't Terra Flying because I'm going to be completely wild. So it wasn't, thank goodness. It was a Terra Normal Tyranitar, right? Say that one 300 times. So Fissure's gonna miss. I've got 2 Fissures left. Hyper Beam misses. Like, oh, I'm not living a Hyper Beam, hell nah. So Tyranitar's gonna take some Sandstorm damage, which you don't get to see too often. I'm down to my last 2 Fissures. So now I'm down to my last Fissure. Tyranitar is going to use Hyper Beam, and this time it lands there. But I think either way, if I didn't land my Fissure the next turn, I was going to die to Struggle anyway. You know what? I'm glad I died to Hyper Beam instead of Struggle because that would have been even more salty. Anyway, hope you people enjoyed this battle here. That's battle number 5. We've got 2 more left. We've got battle 6 and 7. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The things you learn on my channel, you learn how to count, You know, this is quality stuff. Next battle here, this one is against Hunt Down, and we've got an interesting team here. Now, these are Pokemon I traded away during my Nuzlocke, right? And some of them, I think most of them, or all of them, are nicknamed too. So I gave them some random nicknames, and now they're being used against me. And one of these sets was absolutely cruel. I never want to see it again. So Igglybuff is gone. That's good. Next Pokemon is going to be Oinkologne. Now, hopefully we can send this Oinkologne to market, you know? You know, when I was a kid, this is kind of messed up, right? When I heard the three little pigs, the three little pigs and stuff, when they went to market, I actually thought they went to market to buy stuff, not to go there to get turned into food. So it's kind of messed up, right? Now I think about it. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the Trapinch there. The pig went to market to buy. I don't know. They went there. The homie got the shopping trolley and went around, got the groceries, and came back. Because there was a pig at home. That's what I thought. So this is going to be a sleeping, and then the pig went for a sleep after a hard day of shopping. So it's going to be a Chesto Resto Oinkologne, and it's going to open its eyes. So I'm going to go for Fissure here. Fissure actually landed, which is really cool. The move that the Oinkologne was going to use was going to be a belch set. It was a special set. So I didn't want my Diglett being belched at. He probably would have done some good damage still to Diglett. Next Pokemon's going to be a Marill. Now, this is a water-type Pokemon, so I was kind of scared. I was like, what is this going to do? This could be very, very problematic, especially if it's got a huge power or something, a huge power and a physical water move. Or Aqua Jet. I was also worried about if it had that. So I was looking at the Pokemon and thinking what they had. I was like, let's see if we can get a flinch here, because this is gonna be Focus Ash. And I was like, oh, it's Everlighted. Then I went for Trailblaze. Trailblaze put me on 1 health. Oh my goodness. He put me on 1 health. This Diglett is done. So I was hoping, maybe I could still outspeed it, and I was like, let's go for Mento. Let's drop the Marill's stats, right? Because Fissure's definitely gonna miss, and I don't want to get swept by a Trailblaze Marill, right? I'm never gonna hear the end of it. So that's the end of Diglett, but he was okay. It's fine. So another Trailblaze, and that is a miss. We're gonna bring in Dugtrio now. So I thought about this for a bit. I'm like, well, I've got the special set. I could go for Sludge Wave, or I could go for Final Gamma. So I went for the Sludge Wave. Marill tanks that really, really well, and then it used Trailblaze too. Trailblaze doesn't do as much because this one has that health investment. Oh, the Reflector's also gone now too. So I'm gonna go for Sludge Wave again, and it took it out. I was like, oh, I think that was it was a crit. That definitely was a crit, because this Dugtrio's special attack is garbage. It's also Terra Poison too. Now, this is I thought my problems had all gone away when Marill fainted, but this is where my problems started. We've got an Arena Trap Pokemon versus an Arena Trap Pokemon. And I remembered I nicknamed this Diglett Super Bulky because I was making fun of how not bulky it was, and then I traded it away. So I couldn't swap it all, so I was like, all right, I'll go for Sludge Wave since I'm locked into it, right? I'm Choice Scar, so I can't do anything. And this is where things start. This was cruel, right? So this Diglett had me trapped in with Arena Trap, using Sludge Wave, which was weak as hell coming off Dugtrio's special attack, and it was also using Mud Slap as well. My viewers are obsessed with using Mud Slap against me because they know that it always misses on the first one. So I'm just standing here somehow missing with Sludge Wave, and this Diglett had already got 3 Mud Slaps up against me. And I was running out. I was like, oh no, my PP. My PP's running out on Sludge Wave. I never imagined I had to. I never imagined I had to max the PP on special Sludge Wave Dugtrio. So I was missing all of my moves here while this thing was just slowly doing damage. Oh, that one was actually a critical hit too. So I was thinking to myself, am I going to PP out here and struggle, or am I going to die to Mud Slap? That's going to be the question. But then the Diglett went for a rest. I was like, wait, that's why it's called, that's super bulky now. And I was also kind of curious, does this Diglett have is this Everlight Diglett only on PIMPNITE channel? So I'm going for Sludge Wave, and I got to admit, I think it's got Everlight, because it's not, why is it doing no damage? So this Diglett's got Sleep Talk, bro, Rested Sleep Talk Diglett with Mudslap. This is cruel. This is cruel, right? This is the sort of stuff I'm meant to be doing. All right, so I was like, man, do I go for a Desperation Sludge Wave Timmy Terror? But I didn't, right, and I'm glad I didn't, because I missed. Now, Dugtrio was Choice Scarf, and it used all of its PP, right? So now I was going to struggle. It's also got Fissure as well. Oh, no. This is a cruel set. So I actually was struggling here, and Struggle was doing nothing. And it also was doing damage to me at the same time, too. The thing about Struggle, too, if you don't know, I've done many videos on Struggle. Struggle bypasses accuracy, too, and it's typeless. So I couldn't ever miss. So Diglett is going to fake my Dugtrio due to the Arena Trap ability. So there you go, everyone. Something rare you get to see. Also, there's the bug there of the check target and status staying on the screen too. After you use Struggle, it always stays there if you're curious. It's just one of the many Scarlet and Violet bugs. So bringing in Trapinch here. Now I got to act now, all right? I was like, do I go Earthquake? And just, I need to go. Do I go Terror Ground Earthquake just to get rid of a Diglett? I'm gonna get absolutely roasted for doing this, because this is like the stuff I troll other people with this stuff, right? So Super Bulky is sleeping. It's fast asleep. I was like, I don't want this one to use Fissure, right? This would be bad. It got Rest, which was good, right? I didn't want to lose any more Pokemon to Super Bulky, right? So going for Earthquake here. That lived. I was like, what? That was an Adamant Nature Earthquake. So this definitely has a Everlight. Absolutely. I don't know what the EVs are. I'm gonna have to assume it's max health, but I don't know if it's max health in defense or like split defenses or whatever like that. So after missing Earthquake with one Mud Slap, I was like, you know what? Bugger this. I'm gonna go for Fissure. I'm just gonna go for that, because Fissure is actually not affected by accuracy modifiers, so it's always going to have the same accuracy. That's one good thing about using that move, other than one-shotting Pokemon. So the Diglett is going to go back to sleep now. I was like, I either keep going for Earthquake, since I've only had, two of those Mud Slaps, or I chance it with the Fissure. So I'm going to go for Earthquake here, and the Mole takes exactly the same damage as it did before. So I'm going to keep pressing with Earthquake. If it gets to, like, say, 3 or 4 Mud Slaps, I'll swap to, like, Fissure, So Dugtrio is going to use Sleep Talk, and Fissure learns on my Trapinch. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And remember, I can't swap out or do anything either. So if you're curious, with Arena Trap versus Arena Trap, no one can swap right. You both, one Pokemon has to, like, feint each other. That's virtually it. So bringing in my next Diglett, and I'm going to go for the Earthquake and Outspeed. Thank goodness. You'll never, ever see a bulkier Diglett than that in your life. You never will. You'll come back to this video in 10 years' time and be like, only on PIMPNITE channel. All right, next Pokemon we got that Tapping, and I'm going to go for that Earthquake there. Almost took it out, and it's going to eat a berry. I was like, what berry is this? What berry is this? And it's got to be a Starfree boosting up his attack. Wow, that was a lucky one. And Diglett did have a Sash, though, but that really juiced up attack, you know how bulky Diglett is. So that is going to be the end of Hunt Jr. We got one more Pokeball left here, and that's going to be called Iron Tail. Now, this was a throwback. I'll tell you the story. This is a throwback to when I did my 4th gen Nuzlocke. And we had this, the battle with Barry, and Barry sandbagged so hard. Like, he was sending out stockpile Munchlax, doing absolutely nothing. And then he had an opportunity to use a water move, and the Float Cell used Iron Tail instead, and I went absolutely ballistic at using Iron Tail instead of a water move. And there was other Pokemon like Infernape and Heracross too, but they sent out this useless Iron Tail Float Cell. Anyway, so that's going to be it of my Diglett. Float Cell's got some very, very good speed as well. So slipping into Dugtrio here, we got that Terra Electric. I was like, that's going to be good. Let's go for that. In case they do have, some other water move too, which would be very bad for Dugtrio because, it's very weak to that something. So we got that Terra Electric. I love how it's got the light bulb on its head. And we're going to go for Terra Blast, outspeeding the Bizzle as well there. Nearly said Blitzel. So bye-bye Iron Tail, and that was the last Pokemon. And that is also the end of the battle. You know what? We're just going to wipe that bulky Diglett from your mind. It never happened, right? So, I should get some comments in the comment section saying, what bulky Diglett, and that's what I want to see. All right, let's get to the next battle. All right, our last battle here. This one is against Brian. And we have some sort of theme team here. So let me know in the comment section if you do figure that one out. All right, the first Pokemon is gonna encore me. I guess maybe they expected Trapinch to go first there, but Trapinch, this set at least, is very, very slow. Now we got a Hyper Voice set taking up my Trapinch there, my Choice Specs one. That is not good because that's going to be super effective. That's bad, actually, for my entire team. So bringing in my Trapinch here, I'm going to go for a first impression, but it fails to take out the Poipole there. I'm sorry, Poplio, not Poipole. They're very similar names. They both had the word pop in them, because these sets pop off. So going into Diglett here, we got that fat Focus Sash, and here comes another Hyper Voice. So it's Liquid Voice, Hyper Voice, that's turning normal type move into a water type move. So very bad for this team. So I'm going to finish off the Poplio with a nice little headbutt. Nice little bit of disrespect there. You got to love that. Now the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be a Tropius. So Tropius is actually a pretty good Pokemon for this team because I can't use any of those ground type moves against it. Plus Arena Trap, it's not going to affect it. So I thought, you know what? I'll set up the Stealth Rock, which probably would have been good before the Tropius came out, but that's another story. And we've got the Sunny Day here. Gross Mitchell. I'm trying to figure out what this team is. I have no idea. So anyway, I'm going to get fainted. Oh, that was a Chlorophyll Tropius because that outsped my Diglett there. So Diglett is down. This is bad. This is very, very bad. I was kind of curious if it had a grass move or not. Next Pokemon is going to be Charger Bug. Now, Charger Bug is in a bit of a bad spot here versus Dugtrio. So, this is my special attacking Dugtrio. I thought I could try and get some special attack boost with it. Now, I'm not really sure what this Charger Bug set was because they went for Thunder Wave. But it's going to be fainted by the Dugtrio. I don't think it gets Stomping Tantrum. Definitely doesn't get Temper Flare. So I don't know. Maybe they can explain what that set was because I have no idea the Thunder Wave on a ground type there. Or maybe they expected me to Terra. So in comes Porygon Z. I really can't do a lot with Special Dugtrio. And, well, Blizzard's going to completely demolish me. I'm not going to live that, no way. The entire family tree died again there. So half my team is now suddenly gone. We're going to go into Diglett here. So Diglett at least has a Focus Sash. Now, I went for Stone Edge there and it missed. And we've got another... Blizzard lands at Stone Edge, misses. I'm actually surprised I went for that because it might have been a safer play to go for Reversal because I wasn't 100% sure whether I'd outspeed them or not. I mean, I've got Jolly Nature, but still. So Reversal is going to take out Porygon Z anyway, which is a good thing I outsped it. And now we're going to have the next Pokemon, another Slaking. So I know Slaking very, very well, and it has a lot of health, and it's got a good base defensive stat. So I knew that Reversal would do a lot of damage, but I wasn't really sure how much. So counter Slaking, only on PIMPNITE channel there, is going to take out the Diglett for that fat one health. So I don't know what this Slaking set is all about. So we're going to swap in Trapinch now. Slaking is going to be loafing around like some nice hot bread. And I've got First Impression here, ready to go. I've got Earthquake, because I was like, well, I'll go for Earthquake because it can't do anything this turn. And Earthquake will be able to take it out there. I don't want to risk it living with First Impression. That would be very, very bad. I don't want to get countered again. Tropius is going to come back in here. Now, Tropius is going to take some Stealth Rock damage. So, in fact, I did get some Stealth Rock damage against it. Now, I've got really nothing to use against this except Crunch. And I've only got one more Pokemon left in the back too, so I wasn't really keen on swapping. Now, I had that Dugtrio, which was the physical set, you know, the Terra Electric set, so I didn't really want to swap it out, so I was like, I'll just leave Trapinch in and see what happens. So, Tropius is going to reset the sun up, and I'm going to go for Crunch, and it doesn't do a lot, but I got a defense drop, so I'm like, oh, that's really, really good. So I went for Crunch again. I figured I'd faint this turn, but Tropius uses the Forbidden Healing move, and it's going to heal itself up there. Like, my audience loves using this move against me. They do it all the time. So I'm going to go for Crunch. Crunch almost is actually a 2-hit KO, which is really cool. But the Tropius finally reveals its Grass-type move, which is going to be Solar Blade. So Solar Blade, well, is definitely going to take out Trapinch easily. No worries there. Now, this makes me pretty much, I'm forced to Terra my Dugtrio now. I've got to go for Terra Electric. I reckon I'll live Solar Blade really badly, and then I should be able to finish it off. That's the idea anyway. Now, it's also got a defensive drop too, which is pretty good. So I figure if I go Terra Electric, Rock Blast or Stone Edge will easily take it out. I wasn't really sure. I wasn't 100% sure what their EVs were, but I knew with a -1 defense, I'd be able to take it out. So we got 30 seconds. I was thinking about this a little bit, but obviously I knew I had to go for Terra Electric. I then contemplated going for Hone Claws in case they went for U-turn and then swapped. I was just running all these things through my head, and I was like, nah, we'll just go for, you know, Terra Electric, and we'll straight up attack them, you know. So we got that Terra Electric, that ginormous light bulb again. Because I had that plan, you know, the light bulb came on in my head, and here comes U-turn. I figured they might try that to get rid of the defensive drop. So Tropius gonna swap out, and we have we got Chansey coming. I was like, oh, I wonder what Chansey's gonna. But that seemed like a big sacrifice, you know. They're gonna take more Stealth Rock's damage, and they could have gone Solar Blades. So I'm like, there's got to be something more to it, right? So I've got the Rock Blast going here. Chansey's going to eat that like a snack. I've got Stone Edge as well, but I'm probably going to need to hit it with a full crit here. Chansey just lives that, and then my question got answered. It had Healing Wish. So Healing Wish is going to faint the Chansey, and it's going to heal up that Tropius. Tropius is going to come back in without a defensive drop, and it's going to be fine. The only thing is, it is going to take another round of Stealth Rocks, because like the healing happens before the Stealth Rock there in that case. So, but they still came in with more health and, you know, not -1 in defense. So I thought, all right, we're going to have to get a fat rock. Well, I'm going to need a Stone Edge crit or 5 hits of Rock Blast, I think. So I went for the Rock Blast here. Things were looking pretty good. That was 3 hits. We got the 4th, and it lived, but I got the 5th hit right at the end. And that's it. That is the end of the battle. Hope you enjoyed the Arena Trap ability team. If you did, drop a like on the video. Leave me a comment. I don't care if you're on the toilet, and I'll catch you for some vids tomorrow. Peace out, people.